but then I never know. All right, it's looking good, everyone. And I'm very happy to be here with you. As you know, it's Tuesday, and I love doing my tea talks with you on Tuesday. So welcome, whether you're joining us live or catching the replay. Have you been feeling a little bit extra tired, achy, or just plain off the last few days? If that's the case, type feeling off in the comments if that's you. And believe it or not, there is a reason. Just yesterday, we had a full moon, and some say it brings out the wolf for many. It brings out the blues for others. But whether you're dealing with chronic illnesses like Lyme disease, fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, MS, lupus, just to name a few, or you're generally healthy, either way, the effects can feel intense. Many people report worsened symptoms during a full moon, like increased fatigue, heightened pain, worsened mood swings, and even, disturbed sleep patterns. If you're in a group, you may have noticed that there's been a lot more valid complaints coming up. And everything in general, it just feels worse. Interestingly, not everyone connects the dots between their symptoms and the full moon. But our shared experiences lay the groundwork for investigating this phenomena that's still being researched. So imagine your body's fluids being influenced by the moon's gravitational pull, like the tides of the ocean. With our bodies being 60% water, this could probably exacerbate. I always try to use those words, make the symptoms worse, such as swelling, inflammation, for those with chronic illnesses. And actually, it can make anyone feel off kilter. Around the full moon, it's kind of like a collective ugh is happening all over the world. The body's immune response is waging a war, and this celestial event might be exactly what's stirring it up. Our immune system releases cytokines, proteins that help control immune responses, and these can cause inflammation. When the lunar light is bright, this response might be amplified, leading to more severe symptoms for those with chronic illnesses and a general sense of imbalance for even healthy individuals. Do those bright night lights disturb our sleep? Sometimes, yes. It's common to be tossing and turning, unable to drift into a deep sleep, which makes it even harder for people that are already battling chronic pain and fatigue. It does lead to a domino effect of worsening symptoms. Even those without chronic health issues can find themselves unusually restless and fatigued. It's kind of like a tired and wired feeling. For those aware of the moon's effects, well, there's that psychological element too. We have this anticipation and common belief that, it's going to create that self-fulfilling cycle of stress and anxiety, and that makes symptoms even worse. It's almost as if the mind is playing tricks on the body and amplifying pain and discomfort. When I was at my worst with Lyme, the full moon had me feeling like someone cranked up the dial on my Torment Danny machine. The swelling, aches, pains, brain fog, and, even the feeling of rigor mortis, but I'm still breathing. It would all intensify. It was as if the cosmos decided to have an extra laugh at my expense. Interestingly, this cosmic event can impact everyone differently because, of course, we're all different. Yet there are some similarities across the board. So, for example, Lyme disease patients, they might feel more fatigue, pain, and chronic issues, they often worsen. Fibromyalgia sufferers, they have the increased pain and fatigue due to inflammation and poor sleep patterns. MS patients, heightened fatigue, muscle spasms, and pain with disrupted sleep. Lupus, they feel increased joint pain, fatigue, and overall inflammation. Healthy individuals, they feel mood swings, irritability, and they have trouble sleeping, and that leads to increased stress and imbalance. People that typically suffer migraines, they'll feel a significant increase, in the frequency and intensity. Animal behavior, guess what? This is the best time to go fishing because the fish are biting more. There's also the altered actions of nocturnal creatures like owls and wolves, and that's very typical. Another weird thing that happens, emergency room visits, they spike, especially for psychiatric conditions. Crime rates, they seem to increase, aligning with that concept of lunar lunacy. And the lunar pole, it also influences birthing rates and, vivid dreams. Additionally, when it comes to those with parasitic load, the full moon does play a role there as well. Parasites often show an increased activity during this time. The drop in melatonin in humans paired with increased serotonin levels in parasites can lead to heightened parasitic activity, which will worsen the symptoms like inflammation, bloating, headaches, and fatigue. And this celestial phase impacts our health, definitely, but there are things, like what can we do to manage these effects? Absolutely. Let's start with sleep. Well, I'm going to say some things you already know, but these are things you, especially during this time, you want to pay a little more attention to. You want to make sleep a sanctuary, make a sanctuary spot by, avoiding screens before bed. Put up some blackout curtains if you can. Aluminum foil works really good if you have to. And establish a nice calming routine. Consider melatonin supplements if that's okay with your healthcare provider. I myself, in my room, I turn off all of the electrical devices. It's all plugged into one bar, and I just hit that that switch, and that's it. So do what you can also to manage your stress. Here we go. Stress and anxiety, practicing things like mindfulness, gentle exercise, journaling, or even seeking support. Support groups are good, or those can all be very helpful. One of my favorite tools is to focus on 3 things that you're grateful for, and think of the intricate details, involved in those things that you are grateful for. If I'm doing that in bed, it's very rare that I make it to the 3rd thing. I'm usually zonked by then. You can also adjust your medications or supplements. Again, consult your healthcare provider on this, but, sometimes adjusting medication or supplement regimens just might provide relief. Anti-inflammatory supplements like omegas, flax, turmeric, cumin, and CBD, often they get a very favorable response. Hydration, nutrition, you want to definitely focus on staying hydrated during this time, especially, and maintain a balanced diet that includes a lot of anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, fatty fish, berries. And the bonus is that they can also bolster your immune system. Win-win. And of course, if you're not already doing this already, you want to avoid the high sugar foods, to prevent energy spikes and crashes. As well as processed foods, as they can also increase inflammation. Caffeine can disrupt sleep, making fatigue and irritability worse. So you may want to cut back on that during the rise and demeanor of the full moon. And of course, limit exposure to moonlight, as moon bathing just might not be for you after all. Spend more time indoors in the evening. Again, use those blackout shades or even eye masks. Those are great, to create a nice, dark, restful environment. Our journey through those, moonlit nights and, mysterious flare-ups, they do reveal an interesting tapestry of health experiences across the board. So understanding factors from gravitational poles to psychological impacts can help us to navigate those challenges a lot better. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. We're all in this together as a planet. So, now that you know this, here's the good thing, that we can be prepared a little bit more for the next full moon by being proactive in managing its effects. So I hope there was something of value in this for you, and that you share this knowledge with others that might be feeling as, crappy as you might be right now, and get into conversations with others about this, because it could be very helpful. And, do support each other every way you can in navigating these lunar challenges. And together, We can turn this mystical influence into an actual positive, empowering experience. Now, if you'd like to learn more ways to fine-tune things like better sleep, better eating, better hydration, I do have an online resource center that I've put out for everybody. It's a free for all. All you need is a name and an email address to get in, and that's pretty easy. And there's all sorts of resources in there, like videos and recipes, interviews with experts, you name it, is probably there. And do keep in mind when you're there, it is not a one-size-fits-all website. So take what you like and leave the rest, because the rest of that stuff is for everybody else. It's not for you. That's kind of how I built this. All right. So there's that. And I also have a wellness group if you want to just sort of chit chat with others that are in the same mindset of, getting a little healthier. It's Danny's Wellness Tribe, and I will put the link up above for you so you can check that out as well. And I do have a YouTube channel too. Surprise, surprise. It's Danny Cade Wellness. And again, that link will be above for you too. And for those of you that, just prefer something a little more quiet, I also have a blog that you can check out. And again, that link will be above. Now, another exciting piece of information before I let you go, there's a webinar coming up on the 22nd. And there's going to be some really good things in there that are going to help you as well with not only full moons, but just life in general. I'm going to put the details above. Go check it out. And I hope to see you there. And tomorrow, I will be here for my weekly wellness show. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about this time. Just be here. All right. I think I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you so much for being here. And over the next few days, I hope you feel the symptoms that you're feeling start to lift off. And I think they will as the full moon subsides. All right. Take care, everyone. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.